Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So we have the patch notes for module 29, all of the changes upcoming, everything nicely compiled in a blog here, and first of all we have some feature highlights. So this module will bring with it the Unvaulted Adventure Zone, Mount Hode Now. Going to have some new heroic encounters, some additional missions and expanded areas with the new Fire Giant lockdown activity. Then there will be the new Unvaulted Dungeon, the Lair of the Mad Dragon, that will be returning with updated graphics, new mechanics, updated critters, and a lot of new rewards. Then, as covered yesterday, the new lockbox, a Leaping Flame lockbox, with that Bestial Fire Archon mount and the Diana the Acrobat companion. We also will get a new battle pass. We don't know much details yet. It'll be Volcanic Visions. However, I'm unsure whether that's actually gonna be coming out now or will it be still until August. As per the calendar, it says the initial start date of Volcanic Vision is August the 6th. So I'm unsure if that's actually coming out today. That would be still within 3 weeks' time, giving you enough time to fully complete sidereal voyages if you haven't done so already. But then some quality of life improvements with the guild log tracking, guild and alliance naming, and some coffer donations. So let's jump into everything. I will initially cover the things that I think are of note, and looking at achievements, there's for Examinance Reliquary, the Dodge, Duck, Dip, Dive, and Dodge that people just weren't able to obtain, and so they've basically made it significantly easier now by making it so that if you get hit by the miniature artifact flamethrower builder, it won't fail the achievement, meaning you no longer have to jump it anymore. Be aware with the Imperial Citadel, with Emperor's Bane, you'll only have to break his shield now 2 times, but you won't get the achievement after just breaking it 1 time. There's a lot of collection updates here with like these companions and mounts. They should properly give you points, but they did revise some of the point values for consistency. In the Master Demonweb Pits dungeon, they're actually making the whole thing easier, with the second and last boss having reduced health and then also reduced shielding in the normal mode. Similarly, in the Imperial Citadel, Zealous shield will be smaller in the normal mode. The Trial, the Tower of the Mad Mage, has been renamed to be Tower of the Mad Mage Master and then placed in the Master Trial category. Makes sense. And yeah, within Wild Space, you'll no longer have to suffer that cutscene, which will always show up whenever you entered the ship. With the Neverwinter recruitment event, I don't know exactly when that will happen, but you'll be able to buy 72 slot bags for 100 incentives instead of 36 slot bags. The summer festival, it should be a lot cheaper to get your insignias. Getting the green ones will only cost you 2 silver tickets down from 4. The blue ones, 20 silver tickets down from 40. Purple will be 100 silver tickets down from 200. So half the cost to get insignias, that's good. And they'll also go and increase the spawn rate of those flax flowers. They've also made it so that your Saha matches should only last 5 minutes now instead of 10. So we can look forward to some definite improvements with the summer festival. Moving on, people on consoles will be delighted to note that you should no longer be prevented from using a scroll of life when you say die while blocking. On the Bard, you should no longer get stuck in combat when you have Sheltering Etude on your allies. With Paladin, Burning Light is now range damage and area damage. And then your Ranger, there's a bunch of updates here, along with now properly getting your 5% movement speed and 5% stamina regen whenever you switch stance. Now we do have a bunch of companion updates, including more here as well, all of which I have already tested out in previous videos, where we end up with this, the module 28 DPS to the module 29 DPS. Keep in mind, this is all single target. And yes, Suna will be coming out as pretty powerful, but but expect her to get actually adjusted later on in a future patch, and she'll be getting like nerfed by like 5%. But overall, again, you can check out that video and there's some very good updates. With regards to mounts, Uni the Unicorn just had a bit of an update with her aura so that it will be 80 feet and up to 20 allies. With the mount powers, Refreshing Breeze will now actually provide 10% stamina regen rather than just 6. And the Bestial Fire Archon will be released with a fix to its magma pools and also the debuff. There were some updates to artifacts just with regards to the cast times. They're kind of standardizing them so they all have like a 1 second cast time. There will still be some rare exceptions though. With regards to crafting, you can purchase the Explorer cases for Menzabranzin and Narbondelin now from the Stronghold. It will cost you 3,000 guild marks, but that means it's not limited anymore to just say master crafters who had campaign currency. Then we have the enchantments, the Divine Aegis and the Battle Tempered. They're actually getting their magnitudes increased and not actually the real issue fixed. I assume it may very well be a result of this video. Battle Tempered has been bugged like this since its release. They're now going to have 90 magnitude stacking up 20 times. Again, same with the Divine Aegis. This means you will be able to obtain a decently sized shield. 20 stacks and you can see we get about 10% of our hit points. You can improve this when you get better heal stats. And since it is 90 magnitude stacking 20 times, it's effectively 1800 magnitude. But without it being affected by any of your stats, it's only going to be like a 200,000 shield if you're at like 100,000 item level. But if it did get affected by your stats, maybe sometime in the future, it would give like a 1.5 million shield. I am not really happy with that, but at least it is something. At least they have acknowledged that they weren't really working very effectively and have increased them. But I would have liked them to just fix the real issue. Again, as I explained in this video, they're just not being affected by your stats at all. But to be honest, also like this means you don't really need good stats and you'll still give out a decent sized shield depending on your item level. It is still not an enchantment I would use on a damage dealer. Even if you're going to get like 20 stacks here, it's going to be at most 10% of your hit points. Moving on though, we have the update to the Magnificent Resurgent lockbox, just with an additional companions and mounts there, with an update to the tooltip. Again, I showed it in a previous video. Now, very interestingly, we have the Tymora's Gift, and this is being updated, so now it actually grants a useful benefit, 30% of one random stat. However, it is still random, so not really reliable, so not really something I would use. Unfortunately, the tooltip doesn't actually say what stats it can give, but you can see we have it there. We can use it, cast it, and we should gain the buff, and we now have bonus defense from the coin, and that is again 3% from this. The effect also only lasts 10 minutes, so you would have to cast it as soon as you have it again to actually remain having the buff, but it is just random. Moving on, there was some like Stronghold coffer updates just for PC so that you can choose bulk donation. I'm actually not fully sure what that means, but you should be able to donate a lot of items at once a bit easier. With the guild log, they've now been improved with filtering options so you can find specific events. And again, it should be easier to just rename your entire alliance if you want to. And then on the character sheet, we now have 2 new stats displayed: overall damage boost and overall healing. This will help a little bit, but it'll still confuse people because temporary boosts will not actually be shown here. You can see overall outgoing healing. This is just going to be your outgoing healing stat plus whatever other outgoing healing bonuses you have. And then the base damage boost is going to be like what damage bonuses you have that are always persistent. Like these boots right now would give me 1%, the shirt would give me 0.5%, the knight gives me 7.5%, so on and so forth, and that should add up to be there. But you won't get temporary ones like Vatiri, or bigger they are. They will not add to it because it's situational depending on what enemy you're fighting, whether you'll actually use that bonus. So it doesn't really work for most things. But you can see here, like outgoing healing 74.6%, but overall outgoing healing 91% due to certain bonuses being triggered like this set. But that again is pretty much everything of note with the patch notes of module 29. Have fun with the update. Those of you who are older players will recognize a lot of the new zone, and we can jump into the new dungeon as well if we get the head start pack, because you do need to get to milestone 2 on the campaign. Most of you can just wait till next week Monday and then jump in the dungeon then. There's no real like time pressure there at all. The only thing you'll be able to sell is the artifact set. So yeah, you can make some astral diamonds from it if you get it early. So thank you for watching, and a massive thank you to all of these channel members for their extra support, and I'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.